Barbie! It's me, Barbie! Welcome back to my channel. Maryam here. In this video, I'm going to show you the ultimate Barbie makeup look, especially for those of you who might be slightly darker than the original Barbie with slightly darker hair and darker features, if you know what I mean. So this is the look that I have prepared. I feel like I tapped into my childhood. I am someone who grew up with Barbie, the brand, with Barbies, and I know this brand through and through. The movie, this whole movement lately, the whole trend has made me feel really good and really positive, and so I'm really excited to do this video and to show you this look that I put together that I quite love. I feel like it's one of my best looks lately, if I do say so myself. So I hope you enjoy it too. This is gonna be one of those talky tutorials. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my background with Barbies, a little bit about this makeup, and just have a little bit of girl talk. So if you are new here, remember to subscribe to this channel. Wednesdays and Sundays videos is when I do it. Notification bell, pink. And now let's get into this video. The ultimate Barbie look. Here we come. Hi, Barbie. Okay, we are fresh and pink. We've got the pink hoop earrings. We've got the pink top. We've got the long Barbie ponytail and the swoop bang. I'm going for the full fantasy here today with the really long ponytail. So let us begin with this Barbie look. I am very excited because I love Barbie. I might be like the last generation who actually played with Barbies, who actually wanted to be Barbie when I grow up. So I have a lot to say on this subject matter. So I'm excited. Let's get going. Okay, first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna prime my skin with the Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm Powder just in the center because we want that super smooth, clean, fresh canvas. And by the way, check out my acne. It is going away and I am so excited and I'm so happy. In my previous video, which was filmed on Thursday, my skin was looking so bad and I was actually going to a Barbie screening and I was so nervous about what it would look like. But thankfully I found a product randomly in my stash. It was the CosRX Centella Blemish Cream, I believe is the name. I'll pop it up. I got it from Yes Style and I totally forgot about it. It's been sitting in my stash, specifically in my acne drawer, and I just reached for it. And today is Monday and this is what my skin is looking like. It's incredible, like an incredible transformation because my skin was so bad. I'll pop up a picture. But anyway, now it is much better. I'm not talking about the dark spots. That's a whole other beast, but easily taken care of with the right product. Now that my skin is nice and smooth and no longer bumpy, I'm actually gonna reach for one of these Catrice All Over Glow tints. I really like this one, but I was obviously so careful with where I placed the glow. Today, I'm not gonna be as careful. So I'm gonna go for the pinky shade one. It's called Keep Blushing. I'm gonna take just a tiny amount. I'm gonna apply this to the high points of my face for a little bit of that Barbie glow. So funny, I have actually so much to tell you about my Barbie experience as a little girl, but I also want to show you this look that I happen to wear to the screening. I don't know if the makeup is going to distract me from my story or if my story is going to distract me from the makeup. But anyway, here is the glow. I love this color. It is slightly pinky, but not too cool. Just like enough to give that glow, that subtle hint of pearlescence. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is actually my brows. I'm going to use the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter, and I'm going to set my brows in place. To me, Barbie has flawless brows. She has perfect, proportionate, groomed brows. So that is the vibe that I'm going for. I'm not trying to make my brows too whimsical or too trendy. I just want them to be brushed out and super groomed. But I am gonna laminate them and I'm gonna glue them to my skin. So I'm just brushing this product through and then creating that nice edge. So I don't know if some people might need to have a Barbie picture next to them while doing this makeup, but for me, I am so familiar with this brand that I kind of have the Barbie vibe in my head, so I don't really need to have a photo. But basically what I'm attempting to do with this look is make it universal, not just to those who look like the original Barbie, but also to the rest of us who also want to attempt the Barbie style. And the reason why I say it like this is because that brings me to my first Barbie experience. So as many of you guys know, I was born in Russia, in the Soviet Union actually. And at the time when Barbie was popular, we had heard of Barbie as little kids, but it was absolutely not available back home. And I remember it was like the 90s, and my dad, who actually got a job in America and came here first with no intent of actually staying in America. He just happened to have this job and he was gone for a year and he was planning on coming back. At that time that he was gone, I was very little still. And I remember he asked me, what do I want for my birthday? And at this point in time, I had already been familiar with Barbies, but they'd all been so intimidating looking that I almost didn't want a Barbie, if you know what I mean. Like, the Barbie was just so perfect. My earring fell. The Barbie was so perfect looking. She was an adult compared to all the other dolls that were like baby dolls. And to me, she looked nothing like me. She looked like what people look like on TV, but nothing like me. And I just knew at my very tender age, in those formative years, I knew that it was unachievable for me to be as blonde, as perfect as the stereotypical Barbie, you know? And then one day, I was like looking through the magazine. It was like one of those glossy catalogs or whatever, foreign catalogs. And I remember seeing an ad with a black Barbie on it. So that's when it hit me. Oh my God, this black Barbie is different from the rest of the Barbies. She is different, just like I am. And mind you, I am someone who grew up in the European part of Russia, but I am a mixed race person. And so I was always like the different kid in my kindergarten, etc. And I was always told of my difference. So when I saw this black Barbie in the catalog and when my dad called me, I immediately knew that I had to have this black Barbie. And so I told my dad, and lo and behold, a month later, for my birthday or whatever, my dad sent me a black Barbie from America. And I will try to find this Barbie. It was the Barbie that was like the bath time Barbie or something. She came with the foam that you could make designs and outfits from. And I remember feeling so connected to her. She was actually my one and only Barbie that I ever owned. And then later on, when I actually came to America, I finally got her a Ken. So those were my two Barbies, and I love them. I sincerely loved my Barbies. Okay, so right now I am just filling in this brow with my NYX Lift and Snatch brow pen. By the way, NYX has a Barbie collection, which I do not have, but it looks really cute. And so I'm just filling in some sparse areas just to make my brow look a little bit more perfect, more Barbie-esque, if you will. Okay, so the reason why I told you my little story is because it kind of ties in with the look that I'm doing today. I've been seeing a lot of Barbie looks on YouTube, and if you are looking for a classic Barbie look, you definitely have to check out Candy Johnson's video from a few years ago. It has like over 30 million views or something like that. So she has like the literal Barbie doll type of look. Also, if you're someone who's very fair skinned, you should check out Allie Glein's tutorial. She did a very natural but very pretty pinky Barbie look that she wore to watch the movie. And if you are anywhere in the medium to tan spectrum, if you are Asian or Latina, if you're anything like me, perhaps racially ambiguous, this is the tutorial for you. So I'm gonna show you kind of like my makeup for real life, but not really because it's still a fantasy Barbie look. I'm getting so excited. I'm getting like splotchy on my face. I don't know why. I feel like whenever I talk about like anything from my childhood, anything about emotions, I get very emotional inside. I guess this is the feeling that Barbie brings out in me. It's a very emotional, childlike type of state, you know? So I'm just gonna embrace it. All right, so now that I've done the brows and the glow underneath and also primed, I'm gonna move on to the skin. For the skin today, I'm gonna do a combo. I'm gonna do the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin, shade 6. I'm gonna use the Danessa Myricks brush as well. This is for the skin tint, but it works great for the balm powder as well. I'm gonna apply this all over my face, kind of like in a downward motion. I love wearing hoop earrings when I do my makeup because I can easily move my ear out of the way and get in those crevices, like behind the jaw. Okay, quickly gonna even out my forehead. Gonna kind of go around the baby hairs. Oh, do you see the skin? I'm so happy. Like even with this sheer product, I'm able to cover up the damage that was left over from my acne from last week. And it just makes me so happy to not be bumpy. Just a little bit of that. Next, I want to show you guys something cool, and it's been something that I've been utilizing a lot lately. In fact, I actually wore this trending technique thing to the Barbie screening that I went to last week with Gerd Geiger, the brand. I am talking about ombre concealer. I feel like the ombre concealer trend is perfect for the Barbie look. So for this, you'll need basically 2 concealers and 2 pink blushes. So for my concealers, I am gonna go for this Kosas shade 3.2 Revealer Concealer and also my Tarte shade Light Medium. I'm also gonna mix that with the Huda Beauty Peach Corrector. And for my two blushes, I'm gonna go for Rare Beauty, Hope, and Lucky. Essentially, you're gonna start out with your lightest concealer and you're gonna dot that right underneath your tear duct. Next, you're gonna take your second concealer, for me that's Tarte Shape Tape, and add that right next to it. So this concealer should be a little bit darker and a little bit more peachy. If it's not peachy enough, which mine isn't really that peachy, I'm gonna mix that with the Huda Beauty Pink Pomelo Color Corrector. I'm just gonna add a tiny amount of that. And now I've seen this trend all over TikTok and IG Reels. I was actually asking on my IG stories if people wanted to see this tutorial from me, and most people said yes, though some people were like, no, we've seen enough. Save it, girl. So I am gonna save it, but I did want to show you my version here on YouTube. So the trick is to apply more concealer than blush in order for it to look wearable and good. For me, because I'm using the Rare Beauty blushes and these are so pigmented, I'm applying just the tiniest amount, and I'm definitely applying more concealer than I'm applying blush. All right, so next thing I'm gonna do is grab a brush. I'm gonna use this Keys Soul Care brush, and I also have a wet sponge handy. I will use this as well. And the first thing you're gonna need to do is blend out the light concealer into the medium, into the color corrector, into the first blush, and then into the second blush. It will look something like that. Then with a sponge, you can start tapping out the blush and then the concealer. So this is essentially the look. So let me go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. I will say you should probably work with both eyes at the same time. Otherwise, your brush will definitely get contaminated with that pink, and you'll apply some pink on the concealer like I just did. So just be mindful. And then I'm gonna take the sponge, a different side of the sponge as well, and go over that. Honestly, this is so cute. It is so Barbie. It is so me. And because I have really high prominent cheekbones, I feel like I am gonna wear ombre concealer forever going forward. I love this trend. This trend works and it looks so damn good. So now I'm gonna apply just a little bit more of this pink blush, shade Lucky, a little bit lower on the face, and just intensify the color and bring it down to the cheek as opposed to the temple and under eye area. How fresh is that? I literally love it. And if you want, if you feel like you got a little bit too much of that blush into your concealer, you can always add just a smidgy poo on top. I'm gonna do that just for that freshness, you know? And the first time that I tried this look was actually on the day that I was going to the screening, and it looks so good. I'll pop up a picture. Next thing you need to do is set that pretty quickly with a pinky powder. Of course, I'm gonna use the Dominique Cosmetics Rosita. I'm gonna pick it up on the Charlotte Tilbury brush and set the entire under eye, like that. So fresh. Just setting the under eye. And don't worry if it's too pink, we will fix it in the sec. So now that I've set just the under eye, I'm gonna reach for this LYS bronzing stick that I love. I'm gonna add a little bit of contour underneath my jawline, underneath my cheekbone, a pinch right there. And of course, to chisel out that nose and make it more doll-like, maybe a little bit underneath the lip. I'm gonna use a brush to blend it all out. Literally forgot to apply this to the other side. What is wrong with me? This is such a beautiful creamy bronzer stick. I'm using shade Harmony, which is very natural on me. Adding just a bit of that forehead roundness. And now I'm gonna blend that bronzer up into that blush. This is where that magic happens. And this is the point where the doll makeup, or that aspect of this tutorial, should probably come to life. You see it. It's for real life, but it's also for the fantasy. Okay, so now about the movie. Without giving anything away, because I am not that girl. I don't like when that's being done to me, so I will never do that to anyone else. So without giving anything away, I will tell you that I really enjoyed the movie. Maybe because the whole Barbie concept and just the brand itself is so near and dear to my heart. It means so much to me. It brings out such childlike emotions, you know? And watching the movie, I really found myself smiling. I found myself just feeling like a kid again. And also the message of the movie at the end is something that I think we all can relate to. So that's something I definitely enjoyed. Okay, so I'm blending out the nose contour. I might have applied a little bit too much, so I'm gonna remove some of that with my sponge, which still has some pink on it. And I think that looks pretty good. So next thing I'm gonna do, because I'm going for perfect and flawless, I'm gonna reach for my Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation, shade 4WO. Warm Olive is the shade that I go for right now in the summertime. I'm gonna shake it up, and I'm just gonna add a little bit, a couple of drops literally, to the forehead, to the jawline where I still have those spots, and then I'm gonna blend it out with my IT Cosmetics Complexion Perfection brush. Just gonna stipple it like that, and also like that, A little bit of a reverse contour action, and then same thing on the forehead. Speaking of olive shades, I will say that the Dior WO shades, the warm olive shades, are probably some of the best in the industry. If you are looking for olive undertones in foundation, look no further than Dior. They kill it. And if you're anything like me, that 4WO, I am telling you, is the one. All right, I'm gonna take a little bit of the Tarte Shape Tape. I'm just gonna highlight right here between my brows for that little bit of an extra oomph, just like that. All right, so now I think I'm ready for powder. For powder, I'm gonna use this Makeup Forever matte setting powder. This is the Ultra HD matte. I'm using shade Banana, which is like a nice yellow. I'm gonna go ahead and set the perimeter of my face, just like that, and also the forehead, just like that. Oh, this look is coming to life. I'm so excited. So today I'm wearing pink, and the dress that I actually ordered for the screening that I was going to with a brand actually did not arrive on time. Thankfully, my orange dress that I wore last year for my birthday in Puerto Rico came in clutch, and orange, I'm glad it did, because it looked so perfect. It was still very Barbie-esque. Just orange, just not pink, in case you hadn't seen that YouTube shorts. Okay, I'm smoothing down the pores with my Bare Minerals Mineral Veil. So now before I move on to the highlighter, I'm gonna do the eyes. So the eyes are gonna be actually super simple, but super Barbie-esque. So remember this She Glam highlighter that was very holographic? I liked it, but I didn't really like it because I didn't see a purpose for it. I now see a purpose for it. The purpose is Barbie. So I'm gonna add just a dot of this to my lids. This is in the shade Flying Comet. So it's a pink with a slight green shift, if you will. But in this instance, the green shift does not bother me because it actually makes the eye look appear very wet. So I'm basically just spreading this all over to give that lid that super glowy, doll-like finish. This is so easy to achieve with this one product, and miraculously, it doesn't even crease, so it doesn't even need a primer. And if you want to take this down and kind of meet with your cheek highlighter, you can. Almost has like a liquid to powder finish. Essentially, this is the vibe. Next, I'm going to take my Rare Beauty highlighter in the shade Mesmerize. This is the pink one. Fine highlighter brush. This one's from Laura Lee Los Angeles. I'm going to add that right on top on that corner. This is very glowy. Also a little bit on the tip of my nose. A little bit right here, kind of like around the baby hairs for that glow. Right here, inner corner, Cupid's bow. Oh, too much. You get my drift. One more quick thing that I want to do, and it's for the brows. I'm gonna take my highbrow pencil from Benefit, and I'm gonna perfect right underneath. This pencil is perfect because it has a pinky tone. Of course, I could have probably done this step first, but I forgot, so I'm doing it last. This is what I do when I want my brows to look absolutely perfect. And then I'm gonna take a concealer brush. This one is from the Balm Cosmetics. It needs to be a pretty stiff brush like this. And then just going back and forth, I'm gonna smudge this product while maintaining that crisp, clean line underneath. So it's almost like a matte highlighter to my very wet eyeshadow. I am gonna take that highlighter once more, any old brush, and just kind of blend that over. Perfect, super glowy. So next for the eyes and for the lips, I'm gonna keep it really chill. I'm gonna reach for these Artist Couture lashes in the style Baby Doll Behavior, of course, only appropriate. And I'm gonna apply these before liner, and you'll see why. I'm gonna let that glue dry a little bit, give it a chance to get tacky. These lashes are so incredible, by the way. I only have one pair, but I've worn them at least 5 or 6 times already, and the band is still intact. None of the hairs have come out. It looks as perfect as the first day that I wore them. I really like this lash style. All right, so then I'm gonna apply my lashes. I'm gonna kind of look down behind the center of my lid, glue down the edges. This is very doll-like, very full pair of lashes. I'm gonna apply the second lash. So out of practice with applying falsies. I've been so stuck on falscara and applying my lashes underneath. Also notice that I applied the outer corner of the lash a little bit on a diagonal, a little bit higher than my actual lash line. You could really see it here on this eye. And once this dries, I'm just gonna use a black liner, Too Faced Better Than Sex. And I'm not gonna do anything crazy. I'm just gonna line right above the band and just wing out the band. And if you have any gaps, like I do right now, I'm gonna go underneath and just clean it up. So essentially, this is not a winged liner, it's like a winged lash band liner, if that makes any sense at all. But it does to me in my head. This is a little bit trickier to do, especially with such a full pair of lashes. But to be honest, this is sometimes easier to do when you're like in the car, because even though it's not intuitive, the lash band actually guides you, because all you have to do is place the liner on top of the lash band. So even if you're in a moving vehicle, you could probably do this. And that's pretty much that. The only thing that I'm gonna do today that is different from the look that I've already worn is reach for this Too Faced Killer Liner in Killer Pink. I'm just gonna add an inner corner highlight jammy with this Killer Pink. All I'm gonna do, just a little touch of pink. And this is a pencil liner, so this is super easy to do. Of course, you don't have to do this, but I wanna do this because it's fun. And maybe I wanna add just a little bit of that to my lid, just to brighten up the eye a little bit. If you have Asian eyes, you will love this trick. Somehow it just makes your lids look a little bit wider, a little bit brighter. And then I'm gonna take this Wet n Wild Alice in Wonderland liquid eyeliner. This is the shimmery one. Probably shake it up. I'm gonna add that right on top because this one has a little bit of shimmer and just looks so pretty and so iridescent. That's it. That's it for the eyes. That's it for the skin. I'm gonna quickly do lips. Got my pink phone case over here too. For the lips, I'm gonna keep it really simple. This is probably my newest favorite lip combo, and I've been getting so many questions about it since I've worn it that day. I'm gonna use the Huda Beauty lip blush in the shade Rosy Kiss. I'm gonna apply that to my lips just to stain them. All right, they're already getting blushing and pinkish. I'm gonna keep that on for a little bit. And then I'm gonna quickly remove the residue. You don't have to remove the residue if you don't want to, but I actually don't like the color of the residue. I like the stain that it leaves. So for me, I prefer to remove it and be left with this pretty pinky stain. Just like that. This is the magical lip combo that I have been wearing, that I have been getting so many questions about. MAC lip liner in the shade Soar. I already outlined my lips because aligning my lips on camera, it takes me a little bit longer. So the color that I had on before is just serving as a sketch that I'm tracing over. At this point, you can outline, overline, underline, whatever it is that you do. I like to outline the Cupid's bow a little bit, extend this corner to my freckle, point them slightly up in a smiling direction, and then I'm gonna use my Too Faced Lip Injection Extreme for the gloss. And that is my final Barbie look that anyone can wear, but especially any of you who also look like me and who also fall into my category. What do you think? I'll tell you what I think. I think this is one of my favorite looks that I've done lately because I'm such a Barbie fanatic, because I grew up with Barbies, even though I only had two, but I feel like the whole Barbie culture was the culture of my childhood. I remember it so vividly. I remember being a young girl, falling in love with the color pink because of Barbie, wanting to wear only pink because of how it made me feel, and revisiting that today, I gotta admit, it definitely makes me nostalgic, and it makes me a little bit sad that my childhood is sadly well over, but it also makes me feel like a kid again, like I can play dress up like Barbie, but be the adult human-sized Barbie that I always wanted to be, and my version of it. So I hope you guys enjoy this look. Thank you so much for watching, for subscribing. Zooming on out. Peace out. I'm out. Well, what's that? Oh, videos over here. Click on them. Bye.